Hey, it's Chris, Liege Games. Let's do this. This is a really easy week. No preamble right at the beginning. There are no games that I know of that are launching this upcoming week on crowdfunding. None. Zero. Zilch. So this portion of the video is usually the crux of this video as a whole. So this video, even though this is launching on Christmas, is going to be a relatively quick squeeze, ease, throw in the middle of your morning, you know, in case you're done opening gifts and you didn't really get any games like me. So let's just go into that for a second, you know, as a side tangent, a beginning ramble, if you will. It's always a discussion point I see on a lot of the forums, like, oh, well, what should I get my significant other, or what should I get them? And the answer uniformly is you either ask them what exactly games they want, or you just don't get them anything. Because I've gotten like a few trinkets from like my brother and stuff, like taco versus burrito. I mean, things like that I just have not a whole lot of interest in. And he's trying his best, and I appreciate it. At the same time, I'm just kind of like, okay, if you want to buy me something, ask me what I want. And that's the way my wife and I have kind of gone. Like, we don't really get each other gifts. We haven't gotten each other gifts for like the last 2 years because we buy what we want when we want it. The only Christmas present to me is nothing that's going to be arriving, but I actually just splurged on a copy of Batman the Animated Series, Shadow of the Bat. I found somebody selling their Kickstarter all in, and I bought it. Because it's from IDW Games and they're basically out of business now. And so if you want it, it's going to be a collector's item, but it's also going to be sort of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cooperative, competitive, where you've got your dice and then you share the dice on this side with this person and then the dice on this side with this person. And just, it's Batman the Animated Series. So if you're like me, there is some nostalgia factor there when you grew up with that series, which is highly, highly regarded and holds up even nowadays. So I definitely had to get a little bit of that, and I got it for not too much more than the actual all-in pledge, which was really actually pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that, but that's the only thing I bought, and that's not going to be here by Christmas. The only other thing that was supposed to be here, we'll just pull the page up because you guys don't want to just see this face. Ugh. We'll just go back to this for a second, because here's the actual Kickstarter page, and I looked at this, and I just couldn't do it at the time. It was really expensive for what it is, and the all-in bundle was $225, and you're getting all of these expansions and these upgrades. And you can get, I think, just the Shadow of the Bat base game right now and the Arkham Asylum. I think those are the only two, like Kickstarter, 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 Kickstarter. So you're missing out on a huge chunk, potentially, of this game if you actually like it, because you just can't get this other stuff. Now, I hate the fact that it's going to be all gray plastic, but maybe I'll actually get to, at some point, my contrast paints and have me and the kid paint them. I mean, I meant to do that with Marvel United. We haven't gotten around to it yet. And I've heard the rules are kind of trash. The rules are not very good. IDW has kind of dropped the ball on most of their games in that regard. But the gameplay seems to be really well liked by fanboys and non-fanboys alike so far. So I'm pretty intrigued by it. And, you know, if I don't like it, again, I went for it because I don't know whether or not I'll have another chance. You know what? So be it. I'm okay with that. It is what it is at this point. Now let's talk about the other one, though. The other one was Twisted Fables. I forgot to mention this one in the other roundup, I think, from November. I backed this. I got it from Dimension Games. And this was sort of, I guess, the leftovers, people were saying, from their previous, and that they were just selling on this. And now they packaged it a little bit differently. This collection is slightly different. I guess what people said is it's not really packaged all together. It's not really in one box. You just get it all loose, which, whatever. You know what? Means I can maybe just try and consolidate it, but you're getting the miniatures, which again I don't need, which is a really good price, and then the expansion, the standard, the 2v2 upgrade pack and expansion there. So it is what it is. I don't care. But the thing where I didn't get it by is the fact that this is airing and I actually don't have it delivered before Christmas. It didn't get here today. It's on the other side of the state here. I checked FedEx tonight before I filmed this, and it'll probably be here like Monday, maybe Tuesday, but probably Monday. So, it didn't get here by Christmas, but that's okay. I got plenty of other stuff that I'm not playing with my in-laws. Because again, like, I'm the only one here that plays, and it's sort of this awkward, like, we played Cartographer's Heroes the other night, and then my brother-in-law was like, yeah, I'd like to play that again, but, like, there's never an opportunity to ask, and no one ever says anything. And then there's also the other side note of my wife. When I asked her, it was like, hey, honey, do you want to play a game? And she's like, will I play a game, or do I want to play a game? I'm like, Oh, okay. That's the answer we're going with. Okay, okay. But anyway, I got this. Again, I have way too many of these duelers. I love them. They're my weakness. I went for it. I didn't get it the first time around. I waited for the reviews, and now I'm getting it for pretty much the same Kickstarter price, or even maybe like slightly cheaper than the first time around. So it's a win-win from that side of things. So those are the only two things that are coming even around Christmas. And the Batman one, he wasn't able to get out before Christmas, and so he's going to ship it on Monday. So again, it'll probably be here like late next week. Again, not like I'm going to get to play it anytime in the next 6 months anyway. But speaking of that here, we'll take a side tangent here, and then we'll get to the over-unders. I'm going to have a video out in the next week. It's going to be an amazing video. It is going to be the top 10 games that I'm getting off of my shelf of opportunity. Boom. 10 games. I'm putting myself on blast, and I'm putting it out there for you guys. So watch out for that one. That one's a good one. That one is a really good one too. So I'm really happy with that one. The thumbnail is actually kind of Brady Bunch-ish. You'll know it when you see it. Anyway, okay, let's get to the over-unders. So the over-unders were very sparse from this last week, and that's because there wasn't a whole lot going on, and there wasn't anything really new launching, so we kind of went all over the place. But let's talk about it, because I thought it was going to be good, and then it seems like everyone messed them up. Scores are going to be very low this week. I just looked before filming this, and I was surprised on how I messed that up. Okay. First one, and we're going to do these out of order. Shikoku was over or under, like I said, 130,000, because when I filmed this a week ago, it was 112,000. I was like, you know what, 18,000? That's pretty good for a game that's now, only at 112,000. That's a pretty big jump. That's over a 10% jump, in between and not near the end of the campaign. So I didn't really think it was going to get that much. Well, shoot darn it, it got 40,000. So I said under. It went way over. So 0 for 1 on that one. Liege, boom. This is a big 0 for week so far in this one. Same thing with Call of Kilforth here. I said Call of Kilforth, 175,000 pounds. And that was at like 147,000 pounds or 152,000 pounds, something like that. You can look at the video. But again, like over. So for all those, and we'll talk about this in a second, tying it into the next one, which was Ham Sandwich Shop versus Prognosis of Death. And it's a little bit hard to tell because Ham Sandwich Shop comes up in Japanese yen. But then if we find the Prognosis Death here in a second, both of these are actually doing really well. Prognosis Death is 50%. I mean, I guess you maybe say that it's not as good as it wanted, but 50%, it's $2,500 on an off week. Again, yeah, I have a healthcare background, so this strikes a little bit home for me, and it's an indie game, so you're either going to get it or you're not going to get it. But there was sort of the question of which is going to have more. And so Ham Sandwich actually is killing it even more. Like, these Japanese games, $5,000 is no joke for the Japanese games either. So this is the one I got right. I said Hams was going to be right. I said under for Kilforth, and I said under for Shikoku, which I was both wrong on. And then the other one was Borderlands, and it was really interesting. It was at like 1.4, 1.5 million, just like right in between, closer to 1.5 million when I said it. And I said 1.9 million, and I thought it was going to be like way under. 1.979. So again, like Liege is getting like really good on a weekly basis, getting one of these really close to the Vegas line. So this one, again, I got it wrong, but it was only, 79,000. It actually got a ton at the end. So that's really impressive. And then the last one, which was just how many games am I going to cover in yesterday's video. And yesterday's video, although I talked about the TCG, as I said in the video, TCGs don't count in terms of bets, because we covered a bet earlier in the year where two TCGs came up in terms of the monetary value side of things. And we said it was a push on that bet, but in the future, TCGs would not be counted in the rulings. So even though I talked about it, we only covered 4 games. So that was actually under. So Liege actually went 2 for 5 this week. So that's not horrible. That's considering this one was only, a couple hundred or less than $100,000 off. So I'm pretty happy with that. So there you go. So let's just make it really easy again, because I can't not do the over-unders for next week, because I really like doing this, even though this is a really hard week to do it on. We're going to make it very similar to last week's in the sense that there's just going to be some really easy ones, really straightforward ones, no super complicated, no super thinky ones like I've been able to do and manipulate in the past ones. So again, let's just say the over-under on games I cover again being, let's make it a little harder this time. Let's make it 4.5. The over-under is 4.5 games that I cover next week on the crowdfunding roundup on Friday. Relatively straightforward, right? Now, let's go over to GameFound, because I feel like I ignore GameFound a little bit too much. Just because it never really comes to the front of the mind. And we have the one that I covered a couple weeks ago, Ancient Blood, the Order of the Vampire Hunters, and that's at $386,000. It's like flying under the radar completely with $386,000. I mean, that's pretty incredible, actually. It's one of the more recent, really successes on GameFound. It's one of the probably the ones without any hype that's actually broken a couple hundred thousand. Because otherwise, a lot of GameFound stuff just has really been kind of lackluster, unless it's been like one of the big giant ones. So let's put the over under at 415. Let's say $415,000 over under on Ancient Blood. And let's do Palaces of Carrara again as well. Let's do this one again. We'll say this one is over or under, we'll say 85,000 pounds. 85,000 pounds, there you go. So that is 3 of them, so we need 2 more. Let's see. Let's say Ham Sandwich Shop. You know, let's stick with Ham Sandwich Shop. I like dealing with this one. It brings a smile to my face every time I talk about it. Ham Sandwich Shop, over or under $6,000 by the time this video airs next week. Last but not least, let's just go right back to Call of Kilforth, because there's nothing else going on out there in crowdfunding. Let's say, we'll do it in US dollars this time. Let's say 270,000. 270,000 US dollars. There you go. Those are your 5. Easy peasy. Not thinking a whole lot with this video. We'll just go right from there. That's it. That's it. This is the whole video. TV time, I guess. Let's see. I binged all of The Witcher. I binged season 2. I'm completely done with it. I was done with it probably 6 days ago. I liked it much better than season 1. It wasn't as gruesome overall in parts, but it was also a little bit darker in other parts. Just better overall cohesiveness. I enjoyed it much more from top to bottom. It just worked. It just worked, and I know why it's getting the reviews that it is. It's one of those that is living up to expectations. It's kind of flown under the radar. I don't really have anything else I'm watching right now. I just started watching the latest season of Archer, which, you know, I have to be in the right mood for. Kind of like I have to be in the right mood for... I just started rewatching again the beginning of the season 4 of Expanse. Like it's just like The Expanse, just like Sci-Fi's The Magicians. These are like dark with like some black humor thrown in, and you have to be just in the right mindset to watch those. I can't watch those every single night, as weird as it is. I can watch crime dramas and that sort of thing. I'm watching a crime drama right now out of Japan. That's like the Bad and the Crazy. And then there was another one on Netflix. What was that one? That one just premiered. Bulgasal, Immortal Souls. There are only 2 episodes out. The 3rd episode actually drops the day of Christmas, the day this is being released. And then the 4th episode drops on the 26th. So that one's actually really good. If you're looking for something a little bit different on that side of things, that one I can pretty highly recommend to as well too, if you're looking for something else. Apart from that, there's not a whole lot else going on. I think there's a couple things that are dropping in January that I just never remember of. And yeah, you know what? I have been this close several times to starting the Wheel of Time, but my wife and I said we were going to watch it together, and she just has not been in the mood to watch it at all. So I know the season finale just aired, and I want to get caught up on it. And I know Hawkeye's out there too, but like with my other viewings of the other Marvel series, it's like they were all like B. And so I feel like as much as people are like MCU, like, I was underwhelmed by the other MCU ones that were non-Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. So, from that side of things, I'm not, like, super going to watch Hawkeye at all. Like, I'm sure I'll get to it eventually, but it's also not like, oh, I need to watch this right now. This is super awesome. You know? It is what it is. So, apart from that, like I said in the middle of the video, next week's videos, I have a couple amazing top 10 videos. I'll also, maybe on Sunday, maybe on Monday, one of these days, I'll just drop the whole CMON ranking video, 49-1, just so it's all in one cohesive package. And, you know, a little bit else. I got 2 reviews, one of which I'm staring at the game that's right behind the camera right now. I brought it upstairs after I did the review downstairs. And actually, the other game, too, is right below it. So, 2 reviews. I'll be hopefully coming out next week as well. And hopefully I'm just going to get a whole lot of stuff filmed, because I'm not going to get as much stuff played as I'd probably like, but a lot of stuff filmed at least, in terms of lists and thoughts and ramblings and rants and everything that you guys tune in for. And then hopefully we can make 2022 just freaking amazing. Like, I got about 3,000, just over 3,000 subscribers in 2021. And, you know, it was sort of a running joke. I'll put this at the end here because I haven't brought it up in a long time. Running joke that it was a goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. And I think that's a realistic goal for 2022 though. Like I want to get to 10,000. We're at just over 4,400 right now, and something just needs to break out. Something breakout happen, and push me to more people's views. But I mean, again, it is what it is too. So yeah, I'm just not part of the cool clique on the YouTube or the social media side of things. So it's kind of like if you're not like part of like those collabs all the time or part of the, that sort of thing, it's just kind of the same people kind of saying, hey, go check this person out and go check that person out repeatedly. So, you know what? You guys have got me this far. I'm happy. It's fun. And a couple of you also commented in the comment section, like, you want me to like run through some of the stuff like behind me and like the stuff that's out of camera sight too. So maybe I'll do that one of these times. Maybe before I bring the camera stuff back downstairs after my in-laws leave. Because I have a feeling I'm going to be super lazy as well. Like ideally, like the day they like stop spending the night here in like 2 or 3 nights, I'll like bring it right back down right away. But I'm lazy, and moving all of this stuff as easy as it was, I'm also just ambivalent about it. So maybe we'll do that before we move back down too. Or at least maybe I'll film it before we go back down. Although I don't even know how to do this. Like, just people just like randomly like pull out games. They're like, I'm just gonna take this game and let me talk about it for 30 seconds. And oh, let me take this game. I mean, I don't know. Like, is that what people do? I don't watch those videos. Like, I don't watch any of that stuff. Like unboxings are weird for me. I've just been like subscribed to a couple recent releases, like Uprising, Curse of the Last Emperor, which is gonna get played hopefully this weekend. But like, there are a couple unboxings on it, and I'm like, do people really watch unboxings? Would you guys watch an unboxing of something like that? Like maybe if it was like a Kickstarter, like Kingdoms Forlorn or Aeon Trespass Odyssey, and I'm getting like off the shelf, off the presses, hot. But like otherwise, some of the routine Kickstarter like deliveries, I don't know. Again, that's just like I don't know because I don't watch that on like my own eyes. So like I don't know if you guys would watch it either, and I just want to make stuff that you guys want to watch because it's entertaining. So I don't know. This is rambling long at the end, and I can't do the lean back in the chair thing. And you know what? It's gonna be Christmas morning tomorrow, and the kids are gonna go freaking excited. They totally don't have a clue about the Nintendo Switch. So and I did end up getting Breath of the Wild from someone locally, but I think we're gonna save that for the 8-year-old's birthday. Because his birthday's in February, and we realized that if he gets that, he's not gonna like want to share it with his younger brother. And giving just the Mario side of things, they'll be more likely to share it and play it together. Although I think we only have one controller, so we might have to pick one of those up sooner than the second birthday. But yeah, it's gonna be a crazy day tomorrow. It's gonna be crazy. Okay, that's all I got. Peace out. Have a great holiday. I'll see you over the weekend. I'll see you maybe next week. Because I'm off actually the whole time. Longest break from working I've had in a decade. Literally a decade. So stay classy. Have good times. And hopefully you get something played. Hopefully maybe you get something in Christmas. Like I said, I don't have much going my way, but it's okay. No problem with it either. Thanks for watching.